Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today is the 17th for me. I'm not sure when you'll get to see this, a few days out, but I got to go down and spend the evening with mom again because they're going to move her at 3 to another place, a rehab place, until the swelling in her leg goes down. They can fix it. I mean, this is ongoing. Want to thank everybody for coming to visit. I thought I would try to slip in another video here before I had to take off. And this one is where I was working on the forest kit. Now, I've got most of the fussy cut, everything, the tags, the little journal cards, stuff like that is in here. And then I've been going down and sitting with mom and cutting these things out is why you're seeing little pieces and parts here. I actually had another one down there the other day, the coffee one. Let me pull that over here. I have the coffee one here that I was down there cutting, and I got everything but the cups, the fussy cut out, and everything else is trimmed. These were the pieces that were left over that are going to make up like the pages, and so I love this page. Oh my gosh, I love that page. But anyhow, I got to cut these up in some way to decorate or to add in extra pages to the sensory journal. So that's what the rest of that's going to be for. And I thought I wanted to keep the sensory journal kind of brown, and because it's a paper bag, and everything in it's going to be sort of on a brown tone because it's supposed to be for feeling. I am going to have a little visual, and that's why I've got the Stamperia pad that's going to go in there. And I've got a few other things that I have collected to put in it. Like, I think I've got some embossing folders someone suggested. Thank you for the suggestions, by the way. They were real helpful. I did have some Braille paper, so I've got that, Jen. And I found some feathers, some bird feathers. I don't know if I'm going to put them in there, but I thought they'd be something cool that you could feel. I also found some burlap. So that was another thing. And I have this little bit of like a grid tape that you put on to patch walls with. And I can put that in there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to colorize it, because usually when I colorize it, it does not go into the thread at all. It comes off on your fingers. So I'm trying to figure out whether I can just leave that white. I probably will have to do that. So there was a little update on that. This is what I have left for the decorating of to pages in this little guy here. This is a lap book, by the way, that we're going to do today. I didn't even get around to telling you that. So much. I love this page. Now, I've kind of looked through here and compared it to what I've got page-wise to cover, and I've kind of got an idea of what I'm going to use. And some of these, the backgrounds are not going to be used. They're just going to... Now, that one, I don't think I've ever figured out what I'm going to do with it yet. And this one is going to be like the front page with the big squirrel. There's a big squirrel square in here. The bear's on top of him now. But he's going to be kind of catty-cornered on the top. And that'll be the front decoration. And then I'll have this little fox guy on the back page. Like he's hiding behind that tree, So let's get in here and let me show you what's going on. I've got these regular old file folders here. Throw these away over to the side. So I've got these that I've used for cemeteries and stuff like that. For a map. Now these are what's left over from my other working. And I think it took either 2.5 or 3 file folders to create this. I've got little paper clips in here because I've kind of clipped pieces and parts together so I knew what it was going to look like. So this is sort of what I've got so far. Now we're going to go and use these and create our own like this, because I'd like to have like a template So what I usually do when I make these lap books is this is one complete uh file. If you go all the way around to the back and then you come around to here, that's a complete file, and I've just cut it off at 9 inches. I'm pretty sure that's 9 inches. Uh, let me, yes, it's 9 inches. Okay. And then I will come along, and I love these little tabby things. I just love them. So I'll come along, and I've cut me a piece of paper here, and it's going to be a tuck once I glue this together. I need to cover these pages first before I start the gluing, though. And then I've done the same over here with this little tab piece. It's like just a cut piece of paper that's put in here. And then it's going to also be another little tuck for a large pocket type of item. Then in here, I always like to do some kind of a flip up of sorts. And I'll usually have one of my little magnets in here so it secures once it gets back down. But I'll take this off. So I've made like a little piece that's going to be glued right there, and then it'll be secured at the top. And then I'll wait till I get it covered and everything. And then it'll be like a free swinging. Once you get some paper, you might think a file folder is kind of wimpy, but it's not. These are pretty strong little guys. They can take a lot of abuse. So I got to cover the front and the back, and that adds extra strength to it. And as you can see, I've used vintage photo oxide to go around all the outside edges here. And then down here is going to be a pocket. And it's going to be a fold down pocket. Now that I remember. Yes, because it's also got its own little flappy on it. So that gets covered on the front with Mr. Squirrel. Like that. He was another one of these little, I don't know if they were journal cards or what they were. But, of course, they've got, like, something on the back where you can write on them. And then this one was a little hedgehog. But he's got to be in that position because when you flip down, he needs to be right side up. So, that's what I've got for here. Now, once I glue these two little guys on here, I'm going to sort of, like, put I think a thumb pull there, and to let you know that there's something there that needs to move, or maybe I'll put something on there to pull down. I don't know. I'm still thinking about that. And then this needs to go back up on here. But we're just going to make our base here today and just make it really, really easy. Now, this was, I just kind of think about what I want to do. I did want to have all these little guys here where they're going to be folding out like that. And then behind it, you can put like something, like even behind this guy, you can put like a big scene behind it. So here I was going to do the same thing. And then I thought, well, I want to secure these little guys to something. So I had this extra piece of file folder here, and I just cut it. And this is going to be a tuck as well as you being able to see something. And then you're going to have this interactive piece on the top. So that's what I did there to have these little guys. I've still got a bear that I haven't figured out what to do with. And then the other two, you just saw me showing it to you on this piece here. I just cut the edges off of it. So, yeah, that's about all I've done. Now, I did go in here already and put a real strong piece of, it was like a Tim Holtz paper pad that I had that had a real thick cover. And I put a piece here, that's the spine. And then I put a little piece here and here that are the mini spines. And it kind of just keeps that piece nice and flat out here. Now I can cover this with a pretty little strip of paper I have left over, that kind of thing. So, yeah, there it is. The only thing is when you put these little pieces in, and I had to trim these down so they would not butt into my major spine here in the middle, and you were able to still fold them up. I don't know that it's going to be necessary to put a tie on it, because it's got a whole lot of room inside. As you can see, it's like is that a quarter of an inch or half of an inch? It's about a half of an inch spine here. And I believe these two are quarter-inch spines. So you have to like put them in as you're creating this so you know where to fold. Now, I did put an extra crease in here, and that made this not quite 5.5 over. I had wanted to do 6, and then I got in here, and I think I forgot to put a crease either here or, oh, I forgot to put a crease here. I just had that major fold in the middle, like the, so, yeah, all right. So let me get this started and stop flapping my gums, and what we're just going to do is take us one. Now, you have, like, the bottom guys, you got the middle guys, so I think I only have the bottom guys anymore. So we're going to take that part of it, and that's the part we're going to cut. Now, where did I put my ruler? There it is. All right, so we're going to measure up to 9 inches. Now, anything that I've written on here, stuff like that, it's going to come off because it's going to be covered. It's not going to come off exactly. It's going to, yeah, it'll be covered. So what we need to do here is just cut our piece down to what we're wanting to work with. Now, these little lap books are fun. I made the steampunk one, and I can't remember if I made any more besides that steampunk one. I think I did. Gosh, it's, it's hard to remember what all you've made, but I really enjoyed making it. It was so much fun. And the lady that I used to watch, she's not on there very often now. Keep little pieces like this in case this is what you wanted to use to make that tuck or whatever with. So don't throw everything away right away. Now here, I have a little extra nibble there I'm not crazy about. So I usually kind of just clean that off like that. And then I've got a little piece up here. It needs to be rounded, and I usually go ahead and do that with my little medium corner rounder like that. Oops. Good enough. And let's see, I have to have the middle. As you can see where the middle's at, it's got a few extra little foldy guys there. Well, that one little foldy guy we can take and use, because you want to go 1/4 inch on each side of the major fold down here to create your spine, because it's going to be a 1/2 of an inch. I'm trying to figure out where it is on here. I think I see it now. I'll go ahead and try to fold that in. All right. And then see how it's kind of wimpy now? That's why I put that extra piece in there, so it would hold steady for me. But here is your spine. It's so used to having that one piece being the fold that it doesn't know what it wants to do. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of fold it a tad right there, like this, and see what we can show you. Yeah, see, that's a little better. So there is your spine. Depending on what all you're going to put inside this thing, I mean, I've seen some people that has a lot of different fold outs and this and that, and I think I had 2 fold outs in my train or steampunk one that had the train on the front. Now, what you'll want to do next is to go over, and like I said, it was like about 5.5 that I went over to the next area to crease. Oh, I remember what I did now. I went and folded it, I think, at the 5.5. And then I knew I needed, I only folded that one piece or crease that one line, and I remembered I needed another line because it was a spine. So actually we're going to go over to the left of 5.5. Oh, because that's where I had shortened my my page, and I didn't mean to. So this is going to be at 5.5, and then 5 3/4 is how we're going to do it. Now, I'll probably get my cutter over here, and let's see if we can get in here with a decent, I think I fold that out. Get in here with a decent crease. Now it's at 5.5. I didn't really need to mark that, but depending on if you don't have a scoreboard, you would be doing it probably with your ruler. Kind of how we made the middle ones. So yeah, you just get in here and do like that. And then I'm going to spin it around. And what I'm doing is measuring the beginning line over here, right where the spine would begin. Oh, no, then I moved it. Okay, I got the door open out there for the babies to go outside for a little bit before I have to take off. So they get their time. All right. And do I want to get in here and put in an extra crease just to make sure it's good where I folded it? Why not? Okay. Now, put that back. Oh, I see Bobby. She was the one I was worried the most about. She likes to get out there and check out things. Alright. And then I'm going to put my ruler, I put it right up against there and push with my fingers right down at the base. And I do the outer one first. And then I'll do the inner one. There we go. And now that one's folded. And then you have to come in here and make that extra piece to extend it where it'll come all the way out to here. Alright. This piece. Yeah, I'm trying to, I don't know what else I can tell you. She slept a whole lot yesterday on me. I get in there about 1:30. My brother was there, but he had to take off not long after I got there. Within a half an hour, because he had to go get something or do something. He's trying to get back into truck driving again. Every time you turn around, he'll get into it, and then he gets out again. But, you know, they have a dog down there. And my sister is an RN that works, you know, a lot. And I don't know who he's thinking is going to take care of this dog. He might have to rethink this job he's got. He's been taking days off because, you know, taking care of Mom. Alright, so we have that. Our book, so far, so good. This piece here looks like it's a little bigger than I want it to be. So I may have to fix that. And come out a little further maybe with the fold. Sometimes you got to tweak at these things. Let's see if I can fix that. Whoop. let me go back over here to the scoreboard. Okay, and here's that real strong piece of it was a front cover, I guess, for the wallflower. This was his vellum paper, and yeah, the vellum paper I finally got through it and got rid of all of it. It was really weird, but because it was I don't know, it was just really thick and darker, and you couldn't see through it. All right, Graylin, he's in here wanting to get up on his bed, so I have to move stuff. All right, so this is where I just get my X-Acto knife, and I'll go down through here, several passes and still this until it comes off. Okay, there we go. And then I gotta cut it at the 9-inch mark, which is, let me get this lined up on that side. That's this one. This has got a little metal kind of it's a rod. I guess you'd call it a rod because it's circular. But you can pull your, it's moving. You can pull this against it. Actually, if I can get one little swipe in where it needs to be, I can cut it with my scissors. That's usually the easier way. And then I've got to take and cut my 2 little edge guys. Now I've got to see if that's too big. And what you want to do is put it in here and make sure it's not too big, because you still want to be able to fold this up on both sides. Yeah, I think that's fine. So that one's good to go. And then we got to make 2 that are 1/4 of an inch. Okay, and I just cut the 2 little ones, the 2 little spines. And you got to cut them just a smidge smaller than the actual 1/4 inch because they won't go on there. Okay. So we're just going to go ahead and glue those down just to have them in here to add our support and make sure we're folded in the right direction. And I don't like that I left those pencil marks there. They'll probably get covered up with the inking, but who knows. All right, let me get a little bit more on there. Looks like I need a tad more. So I think I'd mentioned this maybe in the other one, but I think I'm going to continue now and then doing some little makes for Halloween. I'm going to just kind of have one of my little totes over here that's going to get whatever I make, and I'm going to throw it in there. I'm going to probably make up some papers. I saw some cool looking papers that I could make up myself, and kind of like I did the school journal, if you remember that. And yeah, I just thought I would do some cool things. I may not have enough Halloween left here. That means I might have to order some more. I'm always trying to use up what I've got, though, too. So it may end up I'm just trying to use up whatever I had. I think I have some paper dolls left. I still want to do like a, what do you call it? The tarot cards. Okay. I really, really want to do the tarot cards. And I think if I use some of my, the portrait people of the paper dolls. Oh, no, that's right. I remembered what I was going to do. Okay, Artie Mays. I haven't watched her in forever because she got off of there and was doing nothing but crocheting for a while. But she did some wonderful mixed media things a lot. And I would love to watch her. She's a fun lady over there in England or Cornwall or somewhere. She was right by the seashore because she forever had the seagulls making noises. At first, when I started watching her, I thought that was peacocks. But it was seagulls. Yeah. So I'm going to like push this down and get it to adhere. I'm a tad short, but I think I'm fine. It's almost all the way down. I'm going to go ahead and do these as well while I'm out pushing. But yeah, she did give us like freebies. And I would get on there. She had like a Facebook page and stuff, and you could get on there and get her freebies. Now see how much better that is. That's keeping that nice and straight for you. You can get out here and see if it looks like they're both about even, and they're not. I don't think so. This one's not glued down all the way yet. Let's see what I got here. Yeah, you want to get in here maybe first and see. It might be fine. I think it might just be throwing me off. But there's not enough glue or something under this end. Let's put some more. But anyhow, back to Artie Mae's. Okay. She had these ladies. Now, I've used the ladies before. And they were like these ladies from Victorian. This one's got this beautiful hat on. Let me see if I can find one. Here we go. Here was some little covers for journals on the front that I had made up a while back. Now, the one with the big hat, that's the beautiful lady I love. She's not on here, but I thought, I don't know about that one because she's a side view. This one might work, and then this one might work. But the big one, she's the one I really want. And I don't know if I could use... I wanted to make like the Empress and maybe the Sun and use one of these. Like, she might be good for the Sun. And a few other things. And I thought they would work pretty good to make like a 4-piece little tarot set. I've been wanting to do that, but you know, for the Halloween journals. I had been saying that, and I never got around to it. Okay, so we're going to cap our glue here, and we're going to get in here and make our little extended wing pieces. We're not going to need the glue anymore, because we're going to start using our paper clips. Okay, now, this piece, that's a full piece. Here is one that's, it must be the back part, but it's got a little bit of a guy there. Now, what I'll probably want to do is use this on the lower side, just so I have a variation. So you get in here and you just kind of put it against your spine. That's another thing why you might want to put your spine piece in. And then you're going to come out just a little bit. You're not going to want it to be all the way up there. And then you've got, yeah, I think you want to be on this side of this spine, this little 1/4 inch spine. Yeah, because we're going to glue it kind of right up against there. Yeah, you'll get what I mean. And now I'm going to probably trim that little extra piece off. I don't like that little extra piece. So we're going to get in here and measure it, the length, which is 9 inches. Okay. Let me get my cutter back over here. Got stuff laying everywhere, y'all. Got it everywhere. All right. So let's get in here and cut this right where I marked it. And I think I went down to here. And then we're going to cut, oops, let me scooch in. Okay. I think that'll work. I'm almost there. I don't know. Maybe I can just trim it. It's either I'm going to have to cut through the paper or what. Let's just do that. And it's going to be up underneath of that other piece. So that little rip. See, I can't even rip it. This is pretty strong stuff. Oh, I got to buy some more though, because all I've got left is like red. I've got a few more pieces. I might have to swap out if I go to do any more of these. Now this piece here I don't want, so we're going to put that back on here, line it up, trim that off. And we want to trim that part off. I said I'm not going to let that one exist. I don't like that little extra flip up. Because what I'm going to have to do is, that's another reason nothing's getting glued yet, is you're going to have to get in here and like measure your paper against it. We're going to go with this little tiny guy again. And, okay, that piece is done. Now I got to figure out what and where I can get the other piece out of what's left here. And here's another one. It's just about the same. Now all I have to do here, I can cheat and just use the other one for the template. oh yeah, we're fine. I had a bad thought that maybe I was supposed to have left a flap on here, but no, I wasn't. I'm good. Okay, so we have this little extra piece down here we don't want. Let's go ahead and sketch that in, and then we're going to put that against there and write it up against the common edge. And then we're going to go out here. Now, if you don't get this edge straight here, don't even worry about it because it's going to be underneath. It's just mostly this upper area, the frontal part, that is necessary. Okay, and then let me go across the top, and I got it out of place again. Big surprise, and then just like that. Okay, so that's good. We got that. But see, this is not hard, right? This is very easy to do. I took just a file folder and used a few little creases, and it was like a little folding book. Now this is what I want to do for my nutcracker. I got a Stamperia nutcracker, and I really want to do the nutcracker in this way as well. And I don't know that I would do extra flippies and flappies to it. I'm not sure. I'll probably, after I cover this one, I'll know how much of the pad paper that I'm going to need to cover all these pieces. So this here, I want to go ahead and cut my little zoomy out. There we go. Kind of ragged looking. Okay. Now, where's my... Oh. Don't know what I did with it. Okay. Now, we want this one to be tucked under here. So basically, it's going to be here. Looks like I might need to trim that one down just a tad more. Especially on this lower side. It looks a little crooked. But you're going to have it on that side of the... And then you're going to lay it here and see if you got that little crack. And we do. But of course, it's supposed to be this way. So let's trim this edge just a tad. It was a little on the rough side, so. Oops. I've been getting home trying to see if there was any good Halloween on, and so far nothing. Yeah, no. I think one or two of those channels is supposed to have some good Halloween on it. I just, yeah, it doesn't look like it's too big. There's something weird there. So, and then this one, I don't know. Maybe this way, just so I have a variation of. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so these guys will go there. Now, the next part I need is, and we'll set these to the side for now, is the flap. The flippy flap that flaps up in here. And I need one of the pieces that's not big enough. So, it needs to come from here. So that was how many? I don't even know how many file folders we were using. I had one or two full ones, and then I had parts from the previous one I did. Okay, so we're just going to go over here to this line and use it to line that up the width will be about here. It's actually going to be smaller. It's not going to go from spine to spine. It's going to be taller. And I'm going to go ahead and see about cutting that out. And just have that trimmed. Because I need to get in here and put me another mark for the length I need. Yeah, that kind of helped me go in a straight line. Alright, so this goes about right here. I know it's hard to see this white on white or vanilla on vanilla. Okay, so what I need to do is go up. So I've got myself a score. I've got to score that. And then I'm going to come down. And the way I did it before, I just kind of rounded it, I think. What did I do? Oh, I had another piece that had a little bit of a goodie on it. But we can make our own. I'll show you how you can make your own little kind of tucky or little tabby end. So we're going to go almost all the way down. So let's get in here with our cutter again. And cut this down. I can set that right there and it won't hurt nothing. We're going to cut this part first. Cut that over to, think about right there. And then this part can come in here. And I'll cut it down to there. And actually, this little piece could be our side tab. I'll hold that to the side. I got one more piece to cut here. I think it's going to be... No, that's not a cut piece. That's the score piece. Where I marked it. Okay. Get my thing straight, Rhoda. Got too many things on the mind today. Okay. So, I've got that done. And then a lot of times with these little, like, fold places, they kind of give it a little bit of a... You don't want it to go all the way out because sometimes you can see that. So, a lot of times you want to just give it just the least little bit trim off there. So, this will fold over. It will be right there. And then you see you've got your bottom. But we want our bottom, where's one of these, to have like that little loopy thing on it. So what we want to do is take the bottom and figure out where our little loopy needs to go. And then we'll just kind of trace it out. Our tab. I'm calling it a loopy. I've been drinking too much Coke Zero lately. That's all I live off this stuff. I don't have my little scissors in here. They're in the bag, ready to go. I've got another Stamperia pad to start trimming on today. What was that one? I think it's a travel around the world one. That's it. It's the one for around anything travel. Kind of goes really well. A lot of people like to have that kind of journal to take with them on a trip. I made a seaside one here not long ago with that Silent Sea, and that was a cool one. Now, the other part over here, because that one will go there. Oh, I need to trim the edge. There we go. So we got that done. And then that one will go in here. And we need one for the bottom side. To be the little pocket, which... It depends on what you're going to do. So I'm going to just cut a piece that's this big. And I'm going to cut it the same size as our little guy right here. And then it gets a little scored piece down here to be another flip up. Okay, now I'm going to hope this is big enough. for what I'm wanting to do. I can always trim or make another one if it's not. So that one goes in here as well. We're going to go ahead and paper clip these two little guys in here because these are right. Now, you're going to want to ink the edges. I will say that because you don't know what is going to not extend out to where you want. Now, if you're okay with this yellowy, cream-colored background to be showing, then you're fine. You're going to definitely be covering these little guys, the spines, with extra strips of your paper, so you're good there. Now, I also have where I need to put on my little wings here, like that one goes here. Let's see how she goes. Whoop, wrong way. And then this one can go down here. And then I need two more. We're just going to go ahead and get all our little pieces assembled here. All right. Yeah. I wanted this tab to be up here. Now, is this too big? It looks like it's a tad too big. So we're going to get in here and do this a little tiny trimmy. Not too big. Yeah. There, I think that'll work. I think I'll put that there. And this down here. Yep. Right on the money. Okay, so far. Ooh. Ooh, see how close that one is? This one's good. But see how close that one is? I don't know what happened. I traced the other one. I traced this one from that one, didn't I? Alright, like I said, this one I want to have at least a little 1/8 of an inch or something there. But you're not going to see this part. Oh, you will see this part. I was telling you wouldn't see that part, but you will. So you do want to be relatively straight with it. I'm still seeing that that's a little too long. Look at me. All right, I'm back. I think I've got it to where it needs to be. All right, now, just remember when you get into here, you flip this up. You're going to be covering both of these sides with something. And then you've got something on the back that you can do. Now, since this is a flip down, you can actually put you some pockets back there if you wanted. Which we may do. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just getting a base figured out. Now, that's going to be the side tuck that I wanted. And I'm going to just make it because I don't know if I'm going to actually use it in all of these. It depends on what else I want to do. I may have a flip out that goes in the opposite direction like this one. I just have to get another file folder. Okay, I've got it cut to the 9-inch length. I'm going to go ahead and trim out the corners here for these two. And I don't know that I want it that much of a tuck. But it could be that it's not really a tuck. I could come in here and do a score down there to where it will fold out and show you, the whole background that's here. I've got this fish. Where is it? She did something with this fish one in here that I really liked, and it extended across. Where's that fish? There it is. Okay. It extended across like a panel area from here to there. And I just didn't know if I was going to be able to do that. I could do that here. And then, yeah, I could get all the little fishies in there. I don't think this one would be wide enough to get all my fishies. Yeah, no. So I will be doing the fishies there. Okay. Because that's another thing you got to do. You got to get in here and figure out where all these are going to go. But I'll figure out something fun to do with this. But yeah, all you have to do after you get everything pieced together, and you have to figure out if you need to ink both sides, like I said. But you just get in here and ink it. Doesn't have to be pretty. It just needs to cover the amount that's going to be not covered by your pretty paper. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do to that edge, and I don't know if it's going to flip open or not. As you can see, I had a Kohl's file. I don't go there anymore. I used to do a lot of, trying to do the couponing thing there where you get the money back and all that. Don't do that no more. But yeah. But you got to get in here and you're going to go around all your pieces and parts. Pull them out to ink them up really good. But I'm not going to do all that with you because you kind of know what I mean. Now see, we're good now. It's clear. I did not paper clip this little guy back here, so we just put one in there for him. But yeah, this little piece I got in there crooked. But here we go. I might still need to cut that down a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe I just didn't have it in there all the way. But as long as it's clearing, you're good. Now, you have room to, I don't know if you want to put too many more things in here, because you're going to be putting papers on all your sides. You're going to be putting in journal cards and things like that. That's going to add to the bulk. So as you can see, there we go. Our little lap book base, I guess is what you would call it. So we're going to be working on that, I'll add a video in every now and then until we get it done. I just thought that'd be something cute. All right. And I hope everybody has a great, great day. I better get off of here and start getting myself together so I can run down there. I got to get down there by noon. All right, everyone. I want you to take care. Take care of yourself. Don't fall. Please don't fall. But I want to thank all my subscribers and viewers for coming by and seeing me. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.